What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fourth and Goal Sports Show. I'm the host, Tars Filson. The news came out. Jahan Dotson has officially been traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm going to be real, as a Washington fan, Jahan, I'm going to be honest. I've been a fan of Jahan since he's gotten here, and I really want him to pan out here, but it just didn't go. It didn't go the way it was supposed to here, the way we wanted it to. Jahan was very underwhelming here. And I feel like a large part of that is due to the coaching staff, Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera, terrible coach. Terrible coach, and I feel like he definitely played a large part in the development of the players that he drafted. And also Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy wasn't a good offensive coordinator here, and he just didn't connect on that, level with his players to really draw up the plays necessary for them to, produce. And I feel like that was the case with Terry. I feel like that was the case with Diami. I feel like that was the case with Jahan, of course. But also, I know I can say that and admit that and express that, and while also not making it an excuse thing, because Jahan, at the end of the day, regardless of the circumstances, you got to produce. There's guys who've gone through quarterback carousels like Terry McLaurin, like Michael Evans. Those guys didn't make excuses. They kept showing up to work every day, putting in the work, and improving themselves as a player. And I feel like Jahan, he definitely underperformed here, underwhelming. He had his moments. I'm not going to sit up here and act like he didn't. I watched Jahan play live several times, and I think the game where he really showed his star potential was that Giants game, Sunday Night Football matchup between the Washington Commanders and the New York Football Giants. Man, that game, I was there. It was freezing cold, and dog, Jahan showed that he really has number one wide receiver potential in that game. I believe he does, still today. I'm not giving up on Jahan. I wish we hadn't gave up on Jahan, but it makes things tough when you don't handle your business. Jahan was a first-round draft pick. A first-round draft pick wide receiver. Through his first 2 years, he didn't go over 600 yards. 600 yards, you should expect first round pick wide receivers to go over 500 yards, 600 yards. You should check that off the box. That should be one of your goals. I don't know if it was one of his goals. I'm sure it probably was, but he just couldn't get it done. The first year, he was actually showing a lot of promise, because although he didn't have the receiving, a large part of that was due to the fact that he was injured. A large part of that was due to the fact that he didn't get a whole lot of targets. A large part of that was due to the fact that Scott Turner just wasn't that good of an offensive coordinator. But a large part of that also was made up and evened out due to the fact that Jahan had 7 TDs his rookie year. Fast forward to year 2, he's healthier, gets more targets, has more catches, and somehow he has less receiving yards, less receiving touchdowns. I'm going to be honest. Jahan just wasn't a good fit here. It just wasn't. And it's unfortunate, dog. I've been keeping up with, the things going on with Jahan and the whole team, going on with training camp and everything right now. I've been hearing rumors for a while about the receiving room, why they're bringing in more guys. Because the receiving room, let's be real, it's not good. The receiving room is not good. The receiver room is on probably the same level as our DB room. Probably not as bad, but it's the same level. Trash. Dog crap. The receiver room is terrible. Outside of Scary Terry, outside of Terry McLaurin, the receiver room is bad. Think about it. We're going into the season right now. Our wide receiver 2 is probably going to be Diami Brown. We really have to realize that, we traded Jahan. Yeah, Jahan didn't do what he was supposed to. Yeah, Jahan fell short in a lot of areas. But if you're telling me as a Washington Commanders fan, if you're telling me that this makes Washington better for this season, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. And I can't believe the guys who are going out here making videos acting as if Jahan Dotson was just terrible. There's nobody on this wide receiver core outside of Terry that's better than Jahan Dotson. You're just not going to sell me on that. And I don't care how he's been performing in training camp. Yes, there's rumors that have came out saying that he hasn't been performing well. And a large part of that, from what I've heard, could possibly be, this is a possibility. I'm not saying this is why, but this is a possibility. Could be the fact that Jahan's family, his mother, she's going through health problems right now. That's a big mental hurdle that you have to deal with, especially when you got to show up to a physical job, a physically demanding job where you got to get things done. You got to get things done. And also in this career field, in the NFL, dog, everybody talks about how much of a privilege it is. Yes, it's a privilege, but also these guys earned it. They earned it. They didn't just get handed this stuff. They're not in their position because, they showed up and they catched a few balls and, they're in the league. These guys put in work for years, since they were children, and now they're in the league. So when it comes down to it, when you're going through mental health battles, yes, you're probably not going to perform your best, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that we should just go ahead and trade, bro. That was a dumb idea. And yeah, we got a third. We got some picks for it. We gave up a fifth. We got a third. We got some assets for Jahan. But this is the same thing with the Chase Young trade. We traded Chase Young for what? A third round pick? Dog, if we're being honest, that third round pick is not gonna get a Rookie of the Year award like Chase did. He's not gonna outdo what Chase was in Washington, and that's how I feel about this trade. Jahan Dotson, we traded him for a third round pick and a seventh, I think. A third and a seventh, if I'm not mistaken. Let's be honest. That third round pick is not going to be able to outshine what Jahan did here. And I'm not trying to act like Jahan was just amazing here. He wasn't a big dog or anything like that. But you kidding me? He's definitely a key piece to this team. And yeah, you can make that argument. Olamide Zaccheaus. You can make the argument De'Ami Brown were outshining him in training camp, taking his spot, yada, yada, yada. Look, man, I'm going to tell you right now. Jahan Dotson's going to go into Philadelphia as wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3, behind A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And Jahan Dotson's going to go and ball out. I'm stamping that. I'm speaking it into existence right here, right now, because I'm a Jahan Dotson fan. I'm a big fan of Uno. And he's going to go ball out. I'll be rooting for him. And if I could give this trade a grade, I would give it a D- trade grade. You shouldn't have traded Jahan. The guy's in his third season. Let the man develop. It just doesn't make much sense to me. It doesn't make much sense to me. I mean, you have a rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels. He needs all the talent we can get surrounding him. He needs weapons. He's going to be throwing to... Outside of Terry McLaurin, he's going to be throwing to De'Ami Brown, Olamide Zaccheaus. We got Christian McCaffrey's brother. We got Jamison Crowder, who's been in the league since I was literally in elementary school. I mean, dude, we got to get some different guys in here. Our wide receiver group is weak. It's terrible. It's crap. I don't get it. Did they really think this trade, pulling the trigger on this trade, was going to make us a better team? I'm going to be honest. We got to go get Ayuk at this point. It's not an if anymore. We need to get Brandon Ayuk. We needed to get him before with urgency. Now it's really urgency. It's emergency time. Call up the 49ers. Ask them, what do you want for Brandon Ayuk? Terry's off the table. Deron Payne's off the table. Jonathan Allen's off the table. And, of course, those key assets that we got in the draft are off the table. But if they want picks for him, bring the picks. We need a star wide receiver in this wide receiver core. We have that in Terry, but that man can't carry all the time. He's been getting triple teamed, double teamed for years at this point. He needs help. And that's who Jahan was supposed to be. Jahan fell short of that in certain aspects. In some aspects, he just couldn't meet it. But we need a wide receiver too to come in here and rock with Terry like a tandem. We need that, dog, because our wide receiver core is a joke right now. And this didn't help. It made things a lot worse, actually. So I don't know what Adam Peters, Adam Peters, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what Dan Quinn's doing. I don't know what any of those guys are doing. And unlike some of these other fans of Washington, I'm not just going to agree with every move that they make. Like, give some criticism sometimes. Like, y'all are over here acting like Adam Peters, just because he's a professional, or Dan Quinn, just because he's a professional, means that every move they make is going to be correct. That's crap. That's crap. Like, we've seen that before, and it's not the way that you should be rocking with this team. If you're just going to agree with every move that the front office makes, cut that out. Cut the crap out, man. Let's be real. This move was a bad move. Certain moves, as far as moves that we should have made, we haven't seen. And I just feel like there's a lot of holes on this roster, and there's a lot of things we need to figure out. I made my record prediction for the Washington Commanders earlier this week, and guess what? It's looking like we might have a few less wins. I had us winning 9 games. I'm going to be honest. The way we're looking right now, we could be in the 6 or 7 range at best. It's looking bad right now. Like, we need to get some depth on the O-line. We need some depth on the O-line. We need some more depth in the wide receiver room. We need some help desperately in the DB room. We don't even have a kicker. This roster is not winning a whole lot of games right now. I hate to say it, but like, dude, we have holes. We need to figure things out. We need to get it done. But I'm done ranting. In conclusion, I'm wishing Jahan Dotson the best in Philly. I hope he balls out this year. I hope he wins. I hope he does his thing, man. And I hate to see him go, but I'm always be a Dotson fan. Hope he goes there, balls out. I can't wait to see him play against us. Can't wait to see how we ball out against him. It's going to be interesting. But in conclusion, I just want to say thank you guys for watching the Fourth and Goal Sports YouTube channel. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, as well as follow to the Fourth and Goal Sports Instagram page. Also, before clicking off this video, please be sure to share your comments in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the Jahan Dotson trade to Philly? What grade would you give this trade? What grade would you give this trade? I want to hear it in the comments. I'm your host, Tyrus Filson. Have a blessed day. Have a productive week. Peace.